So you want to buy an Audi A4. You want to buy an overpriced Passat. So hang on, let me just get this straight. You really want to buy a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, you have come to the right place. I've now owned this car over a year and we took it to Scotland and back. So I feel like I've experienced everything there is to experience with this car now. So if I was able to make it to Scotland and back without anything going wrong, then why am I creating a video saying about everything that can go wrong with these cars? Well, it's because when I first bought this, the amount of comments I got on my videos saying, quickly sell it before something goes wrong, sell it before you have to replace the clutch, sell it before it just blows up. I actually can't remember, most of them are pretty silly, but from my experience so far, nothing's really gone that wrong on it. Let's delve into the things you need to look out for when buying an Audi A4 B7 2007. That didn't work. Let's just get on with it. One of the most common things on this car is because it's such a heavy car and because they're getting to the age now where things are starting to break, the springs go. The springs start snapping. It's quite a common fault. I had it with this car without even knowing it. The most obvious way to tell if a spring is snapped is if one corner is lower than the other corners. Great idea to use it as an excuse to get coilovers. The back of the car is probably my favourite angle just because it looks really nice and it's got the split lights. So one of the lights is there, one is in there. But they are known to fail. What happens usually is the ground on these clusters burn out or corrode away. Your dash will not shut up telling you that you got a light out. I've had to replace this one last month for its MOT and it passed. After that, it's all fixed. Also similar with number plate lights as well, they kind of hang out and corrode. So make sure to take a check on them if you're going to buy one. Body wise and exterior wise, the car's actually quite reliable so far from what I've found. Nothing else has really gone wrong, but I'm not going to end the video here because there's two very important things which is going to change your life dramatically depending which side you go. You go to the light side or you go to the dark side. I chose to go to the dark side, a diesel, because this is my commuting car. It's the car that I take to Scotland and I wanted good miles per gallon. So the bright side of owning a diesel car is you can get 52 miles per gallon if you are comfortably sitting at 70 miles per hour on the motorway. The negatives, however, can sometimes outweigh the positives, so let me quickly talk to you about this. The two most common petrol engines are the 1.8T and the 2 litre turbo. Both engines have pluses and minuses of what's good about them. The 1.8 engine are slightly older, but I would consider them more reliable in the long run, whereas the 2 litre engines, things like the high pressure fuel pump, the cam follower, which you really need to look out for, that's mainly it, but it's a little bit more extreme if them things go wrong than it is for the little things on the 1.8 turbos to go wrong. On the diesel side of things, this one's a 2 litre TDI, then there's the 1.9 TDI, then there's the 2.7 and the 3 litre TDI. The best one to obviously go for if you can afford the running costs is the 3 litre TDI. It's just more reliable, less things to go wrong, I believe. I don't know an awful lot about them, I just know they're the ones to go for. The next one to go for, if you can't afford a 3 litre TDI, is go for a 2 litre TDI. This one is the 170 brake horsepower BRD engine code. It comes as standard with a DPF and EGR, which for diesel engines can cause a lot of problem in the long run. Something is going to go wrong with them. You won't own a diesel, and unless you're driving at 100 miles on the motorway every day, it's still going to go wrong. I hope you're comfy because we're going to go into a little bit of detail here. So I know a lot more about the car and the engine that I own other than the other variants of the engine. So we're going to talk mostly about the 2 litre TDI, which at the moment, because of the ULEZ zone and other things like that, if you're in big parts of London, people are going to be starting to sell these. So probably a good time if you don't live near London, if you're not going to drive into London and things like that, it's probably a good time to purchase one. These cars do have their issues, and the number one thing which can kill the car almost instantly is if the Hex Drive for the oil pump gets damaged or gets broken. Basically what the Hex Drive is pretty much an Allen key, hence the Hex name. It's an Allen key which drives the oil pump, and over time it wears and it rounds, and then one day it just will spin and it won't turn the oil pump. So your engine won't get any oil, you'll seize your engine and that is the engine gone. Which is why the most important thing that you can do is get this Hex Drive upgraded. And there's a few companies out there. This car has had it done. When I purchased this car, I didn't know too much about it because my Passat had just died from a cam belt slip-in, and I just wanted another car as soon as possible. The seller was trying to talk to me about the Hex Drive and how serious the Hex Drive has been, which is why he's got it upgraded at this company. And it all just kind of went over my head until I started joining Facebook forums, looking online, and people were just, the #1 thing to do is get the Hex Drive upgraded. And once you got proof that's been done, we can move on to the next thing, which is probably the EGR. And the problem with all diesel engines with the EGR is that these things get clogged up. They restrict your engine, make the engine harder to breathe. The whole point is that it recycles the emissions back into the engine to get burnt off and then captured into the DPF. But the EGR can make your car feel really rough to drive, especially in the lower gears. So if your car is being very clunky and not smooth like it should be, it's probably your EGR is very clogged up. So take a look at it, get it out, clean it or replace it and put it back in, and then definitely get your DPF cleaned as well. We all know there's other ways around it. Completely up to you how you want to go about it. Filming?
Do you want me zoomed in on you, or do you want
yeah,
crotch shot?
Right from here upwards.
Yeah.
It's lovely in here, loads of room. Not as much room as my Passat though, and I'll never get over that car. I still love the car. I saw it driving about the other day, not the other day, but like 2 weeks ago, more than that, like 4 months ago. I don't know why I said 2 weeks. Other things that you need to be on the lookout for when you are buying this car. The injectors are also known to leak. This can cause rough starts, hesitation. Another thing I had to replace was the crank position sensor. This can also have similar effects. It's not very serious, it's just a long job to replace. And another thing is the tandem pump. The tandem pump is like where oil meets fuel. I don't 100% understand it. I'm still trying to work it out myself because I think I need to replace it in mine. But if you go to replace your fuel filter and see there's black dark oil in there, it means your tandem pump or the gasket is failing and you're gonna have to replace that. That can also damage your injectors, so that's why I need to replace mine. Is there anything else I need to mention?
Why was your car so like, why does it do that?
I don't know. I think it's the tandem pump. I need to talk to you guys about issues that I've been having with this car. Nothing serious, just two very small things. Oh, I found another issue. This little flat pig is broken. When this car is under load and in the middle of the rev range, sometimes on wide open throttle it will start hesitating, it will start vroom, vroom, as you're trying to accelerate. I think it is the tandem pump. I thought it might have been the crank position sensor, but it was not. It also could explain the occasional hard start. People say the tandem pump, if you've got a rough start or it doesn't turn over on the first turn of the key, it's probably the tandem pump. You know, when I do eventually do that, I'll be making another video on it, so subscribe if you haven't already, just in case you're gonna need to do the same. I'll try my best to guide you through it. If you're interested in any more videos of this Audi A4 and what I've done to it, check out the link in the description. I'll leave the link to the playlist. Let's talk about the good stuff about this car and why I love it so much. It's an Audi. It's an estate. It can get me 52 miles per gallon when heading to Scotland. Your friends can sit in the back without complaining about the space. And it's powerful. After a remap, this car has been remapped, it's probably approximately about 210 brake horsepower. Still haven't had it dynoed. Yeah, and the more things I do to this car, the more I love it. When I solved the issue with the EGR valve and the DPF, it made the car run like brand new. So much smoother. I highly recommend getting them things sorted. And it's a diesel. Let's talk about the torque. Even with 4 people in the car and a bootload of tents and luggage, it still pulled like crazy because of the torque. I don't know, the way that it just puts the power down is a lot of fun. It's also got popcorn limiter, which I'm not going to show off because it's probably not that healthy for the car, so I'm not going to keep doing it. But yeah, it feels nice. There is a video of me driving it if you want to check that out as well. I'm not going to be doing a lot of driving in this video. Just wanted to talk to you guys really because I've had some people ask me before. That is the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. If it helped you out at all, let me know in the comments below. If you've had any issues with the Audi in your ownership that you think other people should know about, drop it in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. And before I go, check out the link in the description for the new merch drop. Absolutely love these t-shirts. I'll have more coming. I'll probably make one with the Audi as well. So stick around for that and follow me on Instagram. And that's it, I think. I think I've covered everything. Right, I'm gonna go fill up on fuel and then edit this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.